We are begging to sleep with our husbands. Please, help us. You are the only one who can help us. Please don't refuse.
Once upon a time, in a tiny village tucked away in the heart of Africa, there resided a woman known as Alice. She was a stunning woman who made her living by selling sweet oranges to the villagers. Alice was a young widow, having recently lost her husband to the cruel hands of fate. Following her husband's burial, village tradition demanded that Alice mourn for a year. During this period, the village custom strictly forbade her from being with another man. Legend had it that if she dared, her late husband's spirit would not only haunt her, but also bring about her demise. Alice, a widow still in her youth, had spent only a few short months with her beloved husband before his passing. Rumors soon began to circulate among the villagers, suggesting that Alice might have played a role in her husband's untimely death. Suspicion hung heavy over her. One day, while Alice was selling oranges in the village, a group of young men approached her to buy her entire stock. Excitedly, she agreed, eager to finish before nightfall. One of the men suggested she leave the oranges in his hut. Trusting their intentions, Alice complied. However, as soon as she entered the hut, the men turned on her, assaulting her against her will. When Alice regained consciousness, she found herself abandoned by a bush path, surrounded by the villagers. Desperate and in pain, she pleaded for help. But to her dismay, no one came to her aid. The villagers believed she was facing the wrath of her deceased husband's spirit for betraying his memory. Alone and shunned, Alice cried out for assistance, but the villagers, filled with disdain, turned their backs on her. Only a compassionate young girl approached, offering to escort her home. Grateful for this kindness, Alice thanked the girl profusely for her support amidst the village's judgmental eyes. The young girl accompanied Alice to her humble dwelling, ensuring she was safe before bidding her farewell and returning to her own family. Traumatized by the ordeal and the village's harsh treatment, Alice couldn't comprehend the cruelty she faced after such a harrowing experience. The next morning, determined to seek justice, Alice visited the village chief to report the assault. Shockingly, she discovered that the perpetrators were none other than the chief's own sons. Devastated but resolute, she recounted the events, hoping for fairness. However, the chief sided with his sons, accusing Alice of initiating the encounter. Heartbroken and feeling betrayed, Alice defended herself fervently, but the chief remained unmoved. News of the incident spread throughout the village, tarnishing Alice's reputation. She was labeled a promiscuous woman who had betrayed her husband's memory by engaging with multiple men shortly after his passing. Unable to bear the weight of the village's scorn, Alice returned home, tears streaming down her cheeks. Weeks passed, and Alice made a shocking discovery. She was pregnant. Confused and overwhelmed, she sought out the village chief once more to share the news. Yet again, she was met with rejection as the chief refused to see her. Feeling lost and alone, Alice sat in the village square, her heart heavy with sorrow. She cried out, recounting her tragic tale to anyone who would listen. However, the villagers, convinced of her guilt, mocked her, questioning her sanity. As Alice prepared to leave, defeated by the lack of support, the young girl who had shown her kindness approached. Expressing her belief in Alice's innocence, the girl's words pierced through Alice's pain, prompting tears of gratitude. Thanking the girl for her unwavering faith, Alice embraced her before returning home, her heart still heavy with grief. Haunted by her husband's death and the village's betrayal, Alice felt her spirit breaking. Contemplating the unbearable pain of her circumstances, she made a fateful decision. Before ending her life, Alice placed a curse upon the village, decreeing that no child's cry would ever be heard within its bounds. The following morning, news of Alice's tragic demise spread through the village, sparking rumors of her demise at the hands of her husband's vengeful spirit. Life in the village continued as usual, seemingly unaffected by the loss. Years passed, and the villagers noticed a troubling trend. No child had been born in the village for over a decade. Desperate for answers, they sought counsel from the village chief, who consulted the gods for guidance. Yet even after months of searching, the gods remained silent, leaving the village in despair. Driven by desperation, the villagers proposed a solution during a meeting. Marrying individuals from neighboring villages might break the curse, they theorized. However, despite these efforts, no pregnancies occurred, and neighboring villages grew wary of marrying into their cursed community. For over a decade, the village remained barren until one miraculous day when news spread of a woman's pregnancy. Ifeki, a young woman who had married from a neighboring village, was expecting a child. Shock and hope swept through the village at this unexpected turn of events. As Ifechi's pregnancy progressed without issue, the villagers observed with a mix of wonder and fear. She eventually gave birth to a healthy baby girl, the first child born in the village in over 10 years. The villagers were awestruck, unable to comprehend this miracle. During a village meeting, a woman named Obianjali, who had suffered 7 years of childlessness, suggested seeking Ifechi's help to conceive. Desperate for children, the women of the village unanimously agreed. Approaching Ifechi, they implored her to sleep with their husbands, hoping to conceive through her alleged blessing. Shocked and offended, Ifechi firmly refused, warning them to stay away from her home. Undeterred, the desperate women resorted to spreading rumors, accusing Ifechi of malevolent acts. The atmosphere in the village turned hostile, with Ifechi feeling the weight of their resentment and jealousy. One fateful night, Ifechi's daughter fell gravely ill. Distressed and terrified, Ifechi rushed her to the village healer, pleading for help. However, the healer callously refused, citing Ifechi's refusal to comply with the villagers' demands. Left with no other choice, Ifechi and her husband decided to leave the village in search of aid. Along their journey, a group of courageous women approached them, revealing a shocking truth. They divulged the village's sinister plot to harm Ifechi's daughter, hoping to break the curse. Driven by compassion, these women sought a cure from a powerful source outside the village. With the antidote in hand, Ifechi wasted no time administering it to her daughter. Miraculously, the child's health was restored, bringing tears of relief to Ifechi's eyes. The following morning, the villagers were astounded to witness the miraculous recovery of Ifechi's daughter. Despite their earlier attempts to harm the child, their efforts were in vain. Word of the child's recovery spread, and soon after, the villagers noticed something extraordinary. Other women were becoming pregnant. Shocked and bewildered, they couldn't understand this sudden change. Unbeknownst to them, Alesi had laid a curse upon the village before her tragic demise. She blessed the womb of only one person, the young girl who had shown her kindness and believed in her innocence when no one else did. That girl was Ifechi, who had grown up to be the only woman with a child in the village. Alesi blessed Ifechi's womb, declaring that she would be fruitful, and anyone who showed Ifechi and her children genuine kindness would be free from the curse. This blessing extended beyond just Ifechi. It was meant for those who understood the value of compassion. When the women who saved Ifechi's daughter's life all became pregnant, the other villagers took notice. The news of the curse's source spread, and suddenly Ifechi and her daughter were showered with love and attention. But it was too late. The villagers' hearts had already been tainted with hatred and jealousy. The village chief's sons and their wives, who had been unable to bear children, never experienced the joy of parenthood. This marked the end of the village chief's lineage through his wicked sons. Only Ifechi and those who had genuinely shown them love were freed from the curse. As for the remaining women, they remained barren for the rest of their days. The lesson learned from this tale was profound. Actions have consequences. Bearing false witness against neighbors and rushing to judgment can lead to disastrous outcomes. Kindness, on the other hand, is a virtue that benefits everyone. The villagers also learned not to believe everything they heard about others, as there are always multiple sides to a story. And most importantly, the story cautioned against the tragic act of suicide. No matter how dire circumstances may seem, taking one's own life is never the solution. So the village of Alizi and Ifeki learned to live with the consequences of their actions. The cry of a baby, once again heard in the village, was a reminder of the power of compassion and the importance of understanding. And Ifeki, with her daughter by her side, became a symbol of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. More interesting stories are on the way, so make sure to subscribe my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. I would love to hear your thoughts in comments below. Thank you for watching.